Hi everyone, for today's video we're gonna talk about equation of a line. And after going through this lesson, you are expected to find the equation of a line given a 2 points, b the slope and a point, c the slope and its intercepts, and solves problem involving linear equations into variables. Now let's begin. Finding the equation of a line given a graph. So in our previous lesson, you have learned how to graph linear equation into variables. But in this video, I'm going to show you the different ways in finding the equation of a line. But first, what is y-intercept? So the y-intercept is where the graph crosses the y-axis. So here is the example. So I have here the point 0 and 6. Now finding the equation of a line and graphing given slope and y-intercept. Let's take an example. But first class, remember that equation of the line can be written in the form of the slope-intercept form, which is y equals to mx plus b. So I have here the y-intercept, which is 1. So I have here the point. And then the slope, which is 2 or 2 over 1. So remember class, slope is rise over run. So the rise here is 2. And the run is 1. So, repeat lang natin yung counting. So, the rise is 2 and the run is 1. Rise is 2 and the run is 1. And then graph. So, the equation of a line is y equals 2x plus 1. So, again, it can be written in the form of y equals mx plus b. So our m or our slope is 2 and our y-intercept is 1. So I have here 2x and 1. Alright? Next example. So I have here b equals -2 or the y-intercept. And then the slope is 3 over 2. So let's count. So we have 3 units up and then 2 units to the right. Repeat the counting. 3 units up, 2 units right. 3 units up, 2 units right. And then graph. Alright, and the equation of a line is y equals 3 over 2x minus 2. Again, it can be written in the form of y equals mx plus b. So our m is 3 over 2. And our y-intercept is -2. Alright? Let's proceed to our third example. So I have here the y-intercept, which is b equals 0. And then the slope, which is -1/3. So we have 1 unit up and then 3 units to the left since we have a negative slope. Again, ulitin lang natin yung counting. We have 1 unit going up and then 3 units to the left. And then graph. And the equation of a line is y equals -1/3 x. So we have here our slope, which is -1/3. But since we have a y-intercept which is 0, so kahit hindi na natin siya ilagay. So the answer is y equals -1/3 x. And the second way in finding the equation of a line is given a point and a y-intercept. For our first example, I have here point 5 and 8 and the y-intercept which is 3. Again, our answer, it can be written in the form of y equals to mx plus b, wherein m is our slope and b is our y-intercept. So we need to substitute the given point and y-intercept to our formula. So y is 8 and our x is 5 and b is 3. Next. So we have 8 equals 5m plus 3. Then we need to isolate m to the equation. So we need to transpose 5m to the left side and then 8 to the right side. So we have negative 5m equals 3 minus 8. So we have negative 5m equals negative 5. So we need to divide both sides by negative 5. So the answer is m equals 1, or the slope is 1. Now, what is the equation of a line? So the equation is y equals x. Since our m is 1, so automatic kahit hindi na natin siya ilagay dito. And then our b or our y-intercept is 3. Alright? For our graph, given a 1 point and a y-intercept, so we have here the point which is 5 and 8, so here, and then the y-intercept which is 3. Alright, then graph. Second example, I have here point negative 2 and 4 and the y-intercept which is negative 2. Our formula is y equals to mx plus b. So we need to substitute the given point and y-intercept to the formula. So I have here the x and the y, and then I have here the b or the y-intercept which is negative 2. So y is 4, the x is negative 2, and b is negative 2. Now let's simplify. We have 4 equals negative 2m minus 2. So we need to isolate negative 2m. So we need to transpose to the left side and then 4 to the right side. So we have 2m equals negative 2 minus 4. Let's simplify. We have 2m equals negative 6. So we need to divide both sides by 2. And the answer is m equals to negative 3 for our slope. And for the equation of a line, so we have here y equals to negative 3x minus 2. So this is our m, which is negative 3, and our b or the y-intercept is negative 2. Now let's graph. So we have here the point of negative 2 and 4. So I have here 1 and 2, negative 2, and then 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So point negative 2 and 4. And the y-intercept which is negative 2. And then graph. For our third example, point 1/2 and negative 3 and y-intercept 0. Our formula equals y equals mx plus b. So we need to substitute the given point and intercept to the given formula. So we have negative 3 equals m times 1/2 plus 0. And then we need to isolate m. So we need to transpose it to the left and then negative 3 to the right. So we will come up with negative 1/2 m equals 3. Since meron tayo ditong coefficient which is negative 1/2, we need to multiply it by 2 to eliminate the coefficient. So we will come up with negative m equals 6. Since we have here negative m, we need to multiply both sides by negative 1 to make it positive. So we have m equals negative 6. So for our equation, y equals negative 6x. So wala na tayong ilalagay na b since our b or the y-intercept is 0. So for the graph, point 1/2 and negative 3 is here, and then the y-intercept which is 0 is here, and then graph. Now let's proceed to graphing and finding the equation of a line given 2 points. So here is the formulas to use if the given are 2 points. So we have the slope, or m equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 all over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And y equals to mx plus b. Or we have y minus y sub 1 equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 all over x sub 2 minus x sub 1 times x minus x sub 1. First example, I have here negative 4 and negative 2, negative 3 and 5. Again, we need this formula, we need this form, and the slope. So, paano natin nakuha yung slope natin, which is 7? So, by using the formula. So, the formula for slope again is y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So, m is 7. And then, we need to substitute the given slope and the point in our form of y equals to mx plus b. So, y is negative 2 and our x or our m is 7, our x is negative 4, and b is unknown. Alright? And then next, so we need to isolate b, so we need to transpose to the left and then negative 2 to the right. So we have negative b equals negative 28 plus 2. So we need to multiply both sides by negative 1 to make b positive. So we have b equals 26. So our equation is y equals to 7x plus 26. So our m is 7 and then our b is 26. Let's use the second formula. So the same 2 points, negative 4 and negative 2 and negative 3 and 5. So here is the formula. So negative 4 is our x sub 1, y sub 1 is negative 2, x sub 2 is negative 3, and 5 is y sub 2. Now let's substitute. So we have y here, the y sub 1 is negative 2, y sub 2 is 5, y sub 1 is negative 2, x sub 2 is negative 3, x sub 1 is negative 4. And then x minus x sub 1 is negative 4. Then simplify. So we have here y plus 2 equals 5 plus 2 over negative 3 plus 4 times x plus 4. Next. So we have here y plus 2 equals 5 plus 2 is 7. And then just copy x plus 4 here, and then negative 3 plus 4 is 1. Then we need to simplify, and our answer is y equals to 7x plus 28 minus 2. So 28 minus 2 is 26. So for our equation, y equals to 7x plus 26. So if you notice, even we use the other formula, we will come up with the same answer. Now let's plot the points. I have here negative 4 and negative 2 and point negative 3 and 5, and then connect. For our second example, given 15 and 9, negative 1 and negative 3. Again, we need to get the slope and use the y-intercept form. So the slope is 3/4. So paano natin nakuha yung slope natin? By using the slope formula. And then we need to substitute. Our y is 9, our slope is 3/4, and the x is 15, and b is unknown. Again, we need to simplify. So negative b equals to 45 over 4 minus 9. So we need to simplify this. So we will come up with negative b equals 45 minus 36 all over 4. And then since we have negative b here, so we need to make it positive. So we need to multiply it by negative 1. So the answer is b equals to negative 9 over 4. Since meron na tayong y-intercept or b here, so our equation is y equals to 3x over 4 minus 9 over 4. So this is our slope, which is 3/4, and our b is 9 over 4. So this is the answer. So for the other solution, so the same 2 points, and we will use the second formula. So here is our solution. So it shows that even we're using the second formula, we will come up to the same answer. So, kung saan kayo mas nadadalian, kung ang gusto nyo ay yung first formula, so that's okay. And if ever mas nadadalian kayo dito sa second formula natin, pwede nyo na rin naman siyang gamitin. Alright? So, same answer lang naman yung kalalabasan niya. Alright? Now, let's plot the point. I have here point 15 and 9. And then point negative 1 and negative 3. And then, let's graph. Now, let's proceed to finding the equation of a line given x and y-intercept. But before that, what is x-intercept? So, the x-intercept is where the graph crosses the x-axis. So, here's the example. I have here point 2 and 0. So, always remember the y-coordinate is always 0. How about y-intercept? So, the y-intercept is where the graph crosses the y-axis. So, here's the example. So, I have here point 0 and negative 6. So, always remember the x-coordinate is always 0. For our first example, x plus 2y equals 4, first we need to identify the intercept. Since kukunin natin ang x-intercept and y-intercept, so let y equals 0. So, ang una nating hahanapin po is the x-intercept. So, we need to substitute 0 to the given formula. So, we have here x plus 2 times 0 equals 4. Simplify. So, x equals 4. So, ang ating x-intercept or a is equals to 4. Now, let's find the y-intercept. So, y-intercept, x is equals to 0. So, i-substitute natin. So, we have here 0 plus 2y equals 4. So, we need to simplify. We need to divide it both sides by 2. So, y equals 2 or b equals 2 for our y-intercept. Now, let's graph. We have here x-intercept which is 4 and the y-intercept which is 2. So, here is the y-intercept and here is our x-intercept. Second example, x minus 2y equals 2. We need to identify the intercept. First, we need to find the x-intercept. So, again, y is equals to 0 and then isa-substitute natin to our given equation. So, x minus 2 times 0 equals 2. Then simplify. X equals 2 or our x-intercept or a is 2. Next, x minus 2y equals 2, our equation. And then, hahanapin natin yung y-intercept. So, x is equals to 0. Then, we need to substitute. 0 minus 2y equals 2. And then, we need to divide both sides by 2. So, y equals negative 1. For our b or y-intercept is negative 1. Now, let's graph. So, our x-intercept is 2. So, I have here 2. And also, the y-intercept is negative 1. So, here is the negative 1. For our third example, x plus y equals negative 2. Again, first, we need to find the x-intercept by letting y equals 0. So, substitute natin sa given equation. So, we have x plus 0 equals negative 2. So, x equals negative 2 or our a or x-intercept equals negative 2. Next, we need to find the y-intercept by letting x equals 0. So, 0 plus y equals negative 2. Y equals negative 2. Our b or our y-intercept is negative 2. Class, always remember a graph with only one letter, x or y, only crosses that axis at that point. Example, x equals negative 3. So, only crosses the x-axis at negative 3. So, here is negative 3. So, x equals negative 3. Again, a graph with only one letter, x or y, only crosses that axis at that point. Example, y equals 5. So only crosses the y-axis at 5. So here is the point. So y equals 5. Let's take an example. Find the x and y intercept of the equation y equals 7. So this is a special case. So in finding the x-intercept, we need to plug in 0 for y. So the question is, does 0 equal 7? Alright, no, there is no x-intercept. So what type of lines have no x-intercept? So that is horizontal. And for you to easily remember what type of lines, so I have here box boy, wherein V stands for vertical, U stands for undefined, X stands for x equals equation, H for horizontal, O for zero slope, and Y equals equation. Since ang given natin dito is y equals 7, so we need to take a look at this one. So y, so our line, type of line is horizontal. Alright? So horizontal lines, y equals 7, or the y-intercept is 0 and 7. Now let's proceed to problems involving linear equation in two variables. Rolando Garcia and Chris Fernando were close friends. Both of them were in grade 8. Studying the slope of a line made them realize how far is their house from each other. If the house of Garcia's family is located at point 2 and 8, while Fernando's family is at point -5 and 1, we will be able to know the distance if we find the slope. Also find the y-intercept equation, then graph. For our solution, again, Garcia's family is located at point 2 and 8, and Fernando's family is at -5 and 1. So for us to get the slope, we need to use the slope formula, which is y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Then we need to simplify. 1 minus 8 over -5 minus 2. So -7 divided by -7 is 1. And for our y-intercept, again, we just only need to substitute. So 8 equals 1 times 2 plus b. B is our unknown. So 8 minus 2 equals b. So b is equals 6. And then for our equation, y equals x plus 6. Now plus. So here is Fernando's family at point -5 and 1. And here is Garcia's family located at point 2 and 8. Alright, so thank you so much grade 8 students for listening. I hope you learned a lot from our topic for today. Thank you so much and have a good day.